This is the first time that I would have stood as a parliamentarian and thoroughly appreciated the value of absolute privilege. Because, sir, today I am going to fulfil my duties as a member of the House of Representatives, sir, and I'm going to bring to the attention of the House and my fellow New Zealanders, sir, a quality of conduct being visited upon New Zealand firms selling products, produce and stock to an Australian-owned supermarket called Countdown in New Zealand. Sir, the people that have requested that I publicise this issue live in fear. They live, sir, in a climate of threat, intimidation, sir, and menace. And, sir, it's without a sliver of doubt, I believe, in this speech I am fulfilling my duties as a parliamentarian to alert us as to a level of extortion which is going unchallenged, sir, in our food and grocery sector. Sir, it was galling enough for us as New Zealanders to watch the violation of CER. Sir, it was disgraceful for us to see our New Zealand exporters blacklisted by Woolworths and the other Australian supermarkets. And, sir, we've come to understand that the Aussie corporate culture in that sector is akin to a dingo culture. But we never thought, sir, that our Prime Minister would go there, be confronted by the dingo culture and come back as Abbott's poodle. Well, sir, I want this Prime Minister, I want us as parliamentarians, sir, to challenge a more repugnant story of supermarket behaviour, of, sir, monopolistic malice, of extortion. Sir, once I've laid out the sequence of events, I've got no doubt, sir, that members of this House will regard this episode as the Countdown shakedown. Sir, let me elaborate, without any ambiguity, what is happening to Kiwi firms that are employing thousands of New Zealanders up and down the country as they seek to secure business opportunity with the Countdown supermarket chain run by, sir, a corporate culture that can only be described as something that Tony Soprano would be very proud of. Something of racketeering, something of extortion, and certainly something, sir, imported from Australia that corrupts established commercial practice in New Zealand. Sir, a number of firms have contacted me. They, however, have sworn me not to reveal their identity. They have been ordered, sir, to meetings with managers of the Countdown supermarket chain, and they're taken, sir, into a meeting room, and the following is happening to our fellow New Zealand employers, businesses, and indirectly employees. They are being told, sir, by the Australian-owned supermarket, our profit margin did not suit the shareholders' expectations last year. We want more profit out of you. Naturally, sir, our Kiwi suppliers say it's not flash on our side either. What can we do to assist? The Aussie managers, sir, are saying to our Kiwi employers, our Kiwi firms, we're not here to talk nursery rhymes. They are demanding of Kiwi businesses payments, backdated cheques and recompense, sir, for the losses the supermarkets assert they suffered last year. Sir, and if they don't pay these cheques, they are being told no shelf space into the future. In any other sort of country, sir, that's blackmail. That is extortion. Why should we as New Zealanders allow the Australian shareholders, the Australian supermarket chain, sir, to treat our fellow citizens, our fellow taxpayers, our fellow businessmen and women in that fashion? Sir, it is an offence. OK, in Australia, sir, it may be the corporate culture that extortion is some sort of casual liaison between consenting adults. That's that type of extortion, sir, that I've outlined is an offence in our country. Now, let me be very clear. A number of firms, sir, have been told their products will not be placed on the shelves of our supermarkets unless they make backdated payments and offer remuneration for losses sustained by the supermarket. So it's not the fault of New Zealand producers that an Aussie-owned supermarket could not compete, sir, with our New Zealand-owned cooperative supermarket chain. Not only is that anti-competitive, sir, that is a type of commercial culture that, sir, most New Zealanders, i.e., this is how it works, sir. The supermarket managers, and I know their names, sir, because I've been contacted by the people that were in the room. The Aussie-driven owners and managers of the supermarket chain, sir, are saying to our Kiwi managers, our Kiwi firms, you will hand over a cheque for my historic losses, or you will never gain share market, you will never gain shelf space on the supermarkets. And if you breathe one word of this, we will blacklist you permanently. Now, that, sir, is not extortion. That, sir, must be approaching a crime. So what better place than to use the highest court in the land to, sir, outline and air their grievances? Sir, without a doubt, the first thing that I'm going to do after delivering this speech, sir, is deliver an official letter of complaint to the Commerce Commission, so because this monopolistic abuse, these threats, this intimidation is driving our fellow Kiwis to their wits' end. They begin to fear now, sir, whether their businesses are viable, and, sir, they have told me that if they're forced to make these retrospective, backdated cheque payments, they will start laying off workers. Sir, this is the feral culture in this Australian-owned supermarket chain that saw them bring a Tasmanian devil out 6 years ago to smash the union movement, sir. They sought to smash the union movement in that particular supermarket chain. Eventually, sir, consumers turned and supported the workers. I only hope my fellow citizens, consumers from all around the country, say we will not acquiesce with the importation of this corrupt culture from the Australian shareholders into our business environment. So let me be absolutely explicit. This covers a whole host of sectors in the New Zealand economy. Sir, let me be absolutely explicit. This type of behaviour is causing God-fearing Kiwi businesses to live in abject fear. Sir, indeed, they have sought advice legally as to whether or not they should even have spoken to me. But, sir, I feel we, as parliamentarians, ought to stand up for our fellow Kiwis in the face of this type of supermarket fascism. Now, sir, what possessed the government, the ministers, and apparently the richest man in Parliament, our Prime Minister, to come back after a brief discussion with Ralph Waters, a man, sir, Chairs Woolsworth, made a handsome fortune out of New Zealand, has done nothing to lift his finger or to change this operational corporate culture, and obviously convinced, because he's from the big end of town, our Prime Minister to let it slide. Well, sir, it might be slippery enough for him, but on this side of the House, let's stand up against, sir, this monopolistic, extortionate and menacing behaviour. Because, sir, once these people start to lay off workers, the employment rate will only worsen in areas of the regions. And so we shouldn't be intimidated by their corporate lawyers. We shouldn't be intimidated by their lobbyists. We should say, as I am today, to the Countdown management, stop threatening, stop your mafioso tactics against Kiwi businesses, treat them with a decent shot, give them a fair go, and stop threatening them that they'll be bankrupted or blacklisted if they squeak as to this extortionary behaviour. So this verges on corruption. It has been imported into our business culture by the Australian-owned supermarkets, sir. I'll go to pack and save because the Aussies should pack up and go home. Kia ora tātou.